you, the listener and the viewer. Welcome to the Level Up Podcast, where I, Jesse, along with my fellow coaches Justin and Iman, are on a mission to help our communities level up their finances. Of course, think of it as a retro game. Remember leveling up to unlock new levels, new challenges, and new rewards. That's exactly what we're here to do for your finances. So each week, we're bringing a guest from our communities who share their financial journeys and lessons they've learned along the way. We'll help you gain new insights, unlock new financial strategies, and achieve your own personal financial goals. So, whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, join us on this journey. Buckle up and let's level up together.
Yes, sir.
All right. How y'all doing, fellas? How y'all feeling?
Hey, feeling good, feeling great.
So
Pretty good,
before
brother.
we That's good, that's good. Before we kick things off, I just want to go ahead and let the viewers know that we are speaking from our point of view from the financial industry. We can't stress this enough to do your own research before making any financial decisions and speak with a financial professional for any investment advice. So today in the first ever episode of the Level Up Podcast brought to you by True FinCoaching, we're going to talk about our origin story, go in depth on how we got started and what that looked like for us. Go in depth into what we call our cheat code, the True Fin Trilemma. So we'll go more in depth in that as the episode gets going. And then also we have, how important it is to have a financial vision. So we'll talk in depth about that and have a conversation. And then we'll wrap it up. And, hopefully you've been able to gain as much as you can out of today's episode. But thank you again. We can't say it's enough. We are kind of starting this new journey ourselves. So we've never none of us, I've actually been in a sports podcast myself, but we've never had a podcast, with fellow coaches and things like that. So we're happy to get started. So True Fin Coaching, the origin story. I kind of opened it up. How we got started, guys, fellas. Who would like to start us off?
Yeah, I could start us off. Pretty dope origin story, actually. All of us here used to work together. Me, Jesse, Justin. We actually in the office. Literally, Justin was right behind me. Jesse was just right behind me, one seat down, and so we were just always talking. And this is back at the bank. And after a while, we really just started getting cool with each other. Really, really hit it off really well. We had a lot of similarities in music, in sports, in our humor. That would really made us come together and click a lot better. And one day, Jesse just came up and was like, "Hey, we're doing great over here. Why don't we try and put our experiences when it comes to financing uh, and do something for our communities? Let's do some podcasts. Let's do True Fin Coaching and do something for everybody." So kind of from there, we were all super excited because we all had kind of similar mindset in that, and we wanted to take our experience and do something. And me and Justin kind of looked at each other. We're like, "Yo, let's do it." So I guess that's a short story, a long story made short, or in a nutshell. That's kind of how we got together, and we've been doing this now for it's been a year and a half now, guys. Is that right? Kind of been
Yes.
killing it for a year and a half. So I might let some details off. So if there's anything I left off, guys, please fill it in. But it's been an awesome year and a half so far. We're excited about this being our first podcast and just getting out more and more information about finance to our viewers. So we're super excited.
Yeah, and I would agree. That's exactly how we got started. We all have similarities in regards to just helping out clients in the community and our love for the just music and culture, and it just all fit. And we wanted to do something that was a tad bit different than the traditional route of just finances. And we all put our heads together and kind of came up with TFC, True Fin Coaching, and that's been it ever since.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, anybody who wants to start a business is not easy, right? It feels like it takes time and patience, and We just got to keep pushing through and keep getting through it. That's the realness that we're trying to bring is, a lot of people want entrepreneurs, right? And they don't want to put in the work and the effort it takes and stay with it. And just when that time when you think you want to give up, that's where it takes off. So you want to make sure and stay persistent. And that's what we're looking to do, is staying patient with it and trying to do all we can. We're learning, right? This is all new for us. And
Oh
so
yeah.
it's been a quite the journey already, and I've grown so much from it, and I've grown with you guys, and it's been pretty awesome, and we're excited because we get to be ourselves. This is our company, True Fin Coaching is us, and we want to show what people from our communities, how they look to strive to their finance. Not a lot of people that look like us are, building generational wealth, things like that, and as we talked about before as well, in our experience in the banking industry, I just sat down with so many people and just started to notice that there was not a lot of guidance for our community members, and it was unfortunate. So I felt like this was a good way to impact those communities, to say, what can we do to share the knowledge that we've gained in this industry? How can we put it together and break it down in a way that our communities can understand and put our flavor on it? And so it's been exciting. I'm excited for this new venture of True Fin Coaching as well, the Level Up podcast, and building on this and just continuing to grow, growth mindset. That's what we got to do and be about it. So let's talk a little bit, diving in at what is a financial coach, and what's the benefits of having a financial coach. So a lot of people, when they look at financial coaching, they kind of have a little question mark in their head, because a lot of people probably don't even use financial coaches, or just maybe don't even see a need for them. So I kind of open it up for discussion, in terms of what are the benefits of having a financial coach?
I'm gonna let Justin take this one first part.
Okay. I guess I'll start. Definitely accountability. You have someone that, with us together, we've been in the banking industry um, for at least 10 years. So you get experience, but you also get a person that holds you up to whatever your financial goal is. So whether that's trying to pay down debt, or whether that's trying to build that savings up. We've came across this situation so many times, and including ourselves, and having someone there with you that kind of holds you accountable to the things that you tell us that you're looking to do. It definitely impacts in a positive way. Um, it makes people more disciplined. Definitely accountability, definitely experience that we bring to the table. Also, just helping clients come up with a plan to get to their end goal.
Mhm.
Sometimes you have an idea of what you're trying to do, but you don't necessarily know how to get there. So, helping to craft a personalized plan to get to your goal, is really the benefit of having a financial coach.
Definitely, couldn't agree more. And
Yeah, for sure.
I think that's the beauty of it. Everybody's different, so as we know, the great Kobe said that every puzzle is constructed differently, right? You just got to
Yeah.
figure it out. Everybody's journey's different, and to have somebody who's been through there and experienced in the industry and hold you accountable is so important and crucial. And I think it starts with reflection. If somebody being on their financial journey, I think a financial coach can help with reflecting on, what am I doing now? What am I good at? What are my weaknesses? What are my strengths? Where can I use some help with a financial coach? And I think one of the most important things to me is developing good money habits. I think that's something a financial coach really can help, is let's look at what are those habits you're doing, and are they good for you? Are they bad for you? Do they align with your values and motivations and your vision? And so what does that look like? And so I think it's important to break that down and say, okay, let's incorporate this habit. Let's start doing this on a weekly or monthly or quarterly basis, or maybe a yearly basis, depending on that person, right? And it could be, you can't, and sometimes there's a lot of personalities in terms of financial journey. So it could be, your
Yeah.
your soulmate, or it could be your family. Everybody's different. It could be a friend that your financial journey is on. So it just depends, who your client is. And I think another important thing is a lot of us on our financial journeys are fearful or scared to take the next step to level up, right? So I think a financial coach would help with gaining that clarity and confidence in your financial journey. And I think there's no better way to gain confidence and being more knowledgeable about it, and having somebody that can show you the ropes, and maybe you didn't know what this meant, or maybe you didn't know this was available to you, what your options were, and a financial coach can really come into play when that happens.
So you guys hit it on the nail. A couple of things that came to my mind while you guys were talking. I don't want to prolong it anymore because y'all said it perfectly. But I think for financial I think first of all, the first thing that we always kind of have to let people know is there's a difference between a financial coach and a financial advisor, right? And so people usually kind of think they're the same thing. And when you're talking about coaching, the mind is usually like, no, I don't want to do any investing. I don't need a coach. Well, that's not what we do, right? It's everything what Justin and Jesse just said. It's just really keeping yourself accountable, being able to reflect on yourself, building those good money habits, and leveling up at the end of the day. And that's what these coaches are. So that made me also think about putting kind of an ego check on yourself. Difference between a financial advisor and a financial coach, kind of staying on that line, is financial advisor is going to ask you how much money you got. And that's really the only important question that they ask, and everything else is related to how much money you got, right? Whereas a financial coach will go in depth with you, will understand what you're doing, kind of find those opportunities to find more money for you, whether it's building a budget, building a plan, as Jesse said, and really looking to see what habits, as Jesse mentioned, you can build to save more, to have more, to start building generational wealth, and continue that growth. It's not just single-minded, and we don't work off commission either. So it's really, really just all about working and helping our community. So just putting yourself in that ego check, whether you got $1 million in the bank, whether you got $5 in the bank, that's not what's important for a coach. What's important for a coach is really building those habits with you and keeping you accountable, so that continues to grow and you reach your goals.
Definitely. And I mentioned this is it's the fundamentals, right? You gotta unmask the fundamentals and look at what you're doing. And I think that's a good segue into our second topic here today. But yes, if that is this financial coach is, I hope that brings some clarity to our audiences, and what a financial coach do. We're more that pre-advisor stage and real life situation, right? So right now interest rates are rising, right? As we see right now in today's economy, the feds are continuously raising rates. We're not used to. I know in my banking careers, rates were never as high as they were now, and I was 12 plus years in the industry. And I have a friend just recently come out. What are CDs? Because you're actually earning money on the CDs that are reasonable. You're looking at 4 or 5% now. So somebody reached out. What are CDs? What are the options? What does that do? I was able to break that down, them to understand what a CD, and they're able to make that educated decision on their financial journey on saying, hey, I may look into a CD, so let's go ahead and look at that seems like a safer option for me. So I feel as a financial coach is being there for them, and being able to tell them what that means. That's truly what the true meaning of financial coach is. So going on to transitioning to topic 2, the cheat code for True FinCoaching. That's what
Up, down, down, left, right.
We call that our True Fin Trilemma.
That's right.
Triangle right there. So this is the basic fundamentals of what we start with any of our clients. We want to open these doors first and foremost, no matter if it's a strength to you. We want to say, cool, you're doing good. We want to see what you're doing. We want to open that door. We want to see what it looks like, and then say, cool, this trilemma may be mastered, we're going to move and level up to the next trilemma in your financial journey. So, and that will, once we go into one-on-ones and things like that, we get more in depth in that. So definitely we've seen our clients grow and be able to go into that next level, and depending on their financial situation. But let's dive a little deep into each of those corner points of the triangle, the true fin trilemma. So I think the most important one that comes to mind, and the one I think you have to start off with, is budgeting. So I think it's important, we think it's important to budget, and I'll kind of open up to conversation of budgeting because that's a topic in its own. But before we move on, if just to kind of set the tone, we're going to go into budgeting, then we'll go into paying down high interest debt, and then we'll go into saving to have an emergency savings. But let's talk about budget here for a little bit.
Oh yeah, I can jump on here real quick. Budgeting, man. People in our experience, again, between us three, I think it's 30+ years in the financial industry, and I think we all have very similar experiences. When you say budget, people don't like that word. It's usually followed with some kind of negative connotation for some reason. It's boring. It's, you sit here, you writing numbers down, you typing them down, whatever. You got an app. You got to remember to put in the cents of each transaction that you put in. Like it's tedious. It's time consuming. It's not difficult to do, but just these things, for whatever reason, people are just like, I know how much I got, or I bring in this much a month, and I expect to get this much out during the month. So I know where I'm at. I'm positive it's good. But in our experience, that budget is the lifeblood of anyone starting to build their financial journey to whatever goals, whatever aspirations that you have. This is the fundamentals, as Jesse said earlier. This is, making sure you got everything in order. You know exactly where every single penny is coming in from, and you know exactly what every single penny is going out to. And when you have that, you have a true understanding about what your budget looks like, and you can determine then what are important, what are your needs, what are your wants. You can start prioritizing, and you can see that this budget is like a living organism. You know what I mean? Like, it's really up to your decisions and how you plan for it. If you have a goal to like buy a house next year, that budget is going to tell you how long that's going to take or how short that's going to take. And that's all decided upon you. So when you're looking at it, you're like, oh, wow, well, I didn't know, like, I've been saving a couple of $100 a month. But now that I put it all down on paper and I'm following up on it, I see, oh, I got Netflix on there. I get a car wash twice a month. I get my lawn mowed, every 2 weeks. That's 200 extra bucks right there a month that I could put towards the house, my savings, or put towards whatever goal that I have that I just wasn't even thinking about because, hey, I was coming out, I was paying my bills, I was doing what I needed to do, and I was fine. But you just don't see those opportunities a lot of the times when you don't put it down and you look at them and you make that your Bible or your Quran or your whatever holy book that you read or don't read, your encyclopedia. I don't know, but yeah, the budget is super important. So get that bad taste out your mouth and get it done. It would be my advice because it's extremely important.
Yeah, I would absolutely agree. Um, the budget tells the story. It tells what comes in and what comes out, and sometimes it tells an ugly truth. Like sometimes it tells you exactly who you are and the path that you're headed down. And that's why whenever we meet with clients and whenever we speak with clients, no matter what their salary is, whether that's six figures, whether that's well beyond that. The first thing that we talk about is budgeting. Even in culture, when Cardi B gets online and says, um, these groceries are high right now. It's affecting my budget. Even someone that makes what she makes find budgeting important. So why wouldn't you? So that's the first that we look into. Even if you have a budget in place, just making sure that It's telling what we believe it to be telling, and if it's any adjustments that we can make, whether that's a small adjustment or whether that's a much larger one. We look into it, we review it, and we try to craft it in a way to maybe tell the story that we're looking to tell in the future, whatever your financial goal is.
So like
Definitely.
that.
Shout out to Cardi.
Yeah. She on top of it. She must have heard of us, I think, True FinCoaching or something. I don't know. She follows our Twitter, I think.
All the money she's making, she's watching her dollars. That's how you know inflation's bad.
Yeah.
Sure.
But yes, I agree with everything you fellas said, and we're in a transactional society, so it's very easy to lose track of your dollars. Being again referring to our experience in the financial industry, seen so many overdrafts, seen so mismanagement of money, seen so many, people just not even worried about where their money's going or when it's coming
True.
in. Things like and everybody is focused on when the next paycheck is, right? But nobody's focusing on when do I have to revamp my budget, right? So we got that, and that's what we try to do here at TrueFigure. We got to adjust that mindset. We got to tweak it. We got to make those tweaks to where you got to look at things differently. For instance, we got to first start with that and understanding that dollars and money are a tool and they're a resource to get you to where you want to be, really, when it comes to life or when it comes to getting the things that you need, like Iman said, the needs and wants. That is a resource, and the budget tells your resources where to go, tells your troops where to go. You know what they're doing at all times, and it's crucial. It's just crucial, and it leads to the other things we're about to talk about, right? So, not having a budget can lead to high interest debt. Not having a budget can have you lead to you not being ready to for an emergency or a life event. So definitely the budget is crucial. It's important. And as we continue to transition to an even more transactional, society and economy with, cryptocurrencies and, digital dollars and things like that, you see the Chinese digital yen and those types of things. So there's a lot right now. We're in a crucial part in our society, and we're changing. We're pivoting in a whole different way, and that's why I think it's crucial right now that our communities get on this mentality of building this generation, because we want to be at the forefront of the new things that are to come and to be knowledgeable those new things that are come, those new waves. So great on everybody with around budgeting. That's pretty awesome. Now, let's skip the bad part and let's go to emergency savings, and then we'll talk about the other one. But let's talk about how important it is to have emergency savings.
Yeah, it's extremely important. I can tell you firsthand. I'm unemployed right now, so having an emergency fund has been a lifesaver for sure. Me and my wife, of course, she's working. I'm sitting here sending applications left and right, and we got a 2-year old daughter at home, so we got to take care of her, put food on the table, and that's something that came up unexpected, completely unexpected. So that happens in life. Things happen. You get a flat tire, you need a new transmission, the AC goes out. If you're living in Houston, Texas, like we are, it gets hot during the summer, and you got no AC. You're done. So those are some things that might be some priorities that come up, and it's normal and it's natural. It's a part of life. There's ups and downs in life. That's the first thing I think we need to realize is there's ups, there's downs. How do we prepare ourselves for the downs? Ups are great, 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 but when there's downs, it can be bad, and life could be hitting you while you're down, or you can have that cushion, that safety net, and that's what that emergency fund is all about. Is having that, preparing that, and having it, leaving it basically. And I think this is something else that I think we see a lot of the time is people get confused that, oh, I got my emergency funds in stocks and I got them set up so I can pull them out whenever I want. It's all good. But there's a big difference, as we've seen in the market recently. Things have been kind of all over the place. So your emergency fund could have just taken a huge hit, and that's not something you may have planned for, and then now you're something else comes up and you don't got the funds available, and it just kind of rolls from there. When it rains, it pours, they say, right? So don't put yourself in that position. Don't think that emergency is good in the stock market, or it's good in my 401k or all these other platforms that are interest raising. Emergency fund should be a place where you can put it, you can leave it, and just feel good that that's there. I'm comfortable with the amount that's there. And if something, God forbid, were to happen to me or my family, I'm prepared to take care of that without having to stress about the finances. And I think that's the most important thing, is being able to not have to stress about something like finances when you need to take your family to the doctor, or you need to go get the car fixed. It's just like, oh gosh. So this even goes into like our mental health and our physical health at this point. But that's maybe another podcast. We can talk all about that. But yeah, emergency fund is extremely important.
I
Definitely.
agree. That 3 to 6 months worth of emergency savings could be, and I think I posted that it can be the difference between stability and chaos. Like having it when something happens, not a it's not a bad thing. We're prepared for it. The AC go out. Of course, we don't want to have to pull from it, but in the event something happens, you're able to sleep at night. But in the event that something don't have it, oh man, that can keep you up. That could be the complete opposite. I remember when I first started working and I had like a used car, and my dad would say, "Hey, I hope you're saving your money because eventually the car is going to break down." And of course, me, I'm ripping and running the highway, probably doing some stuff that I shouldn't be, but I'm just having a good. Um, my car broke down, and I was like, "Oh my God, like like where am I gonna get the money to fix it?" And that was like my first lesson to learn that, okay, maybe I should have at least you know some money saved, X amount saved to be just prepared for when something happens. And that was my first real life experience of just being introduced to not having it. And obviously, I smartened up. Then, when things started happening, I was a lot more prepared. Um, Working in banking helped. But yeah, definitely having that 3 to 6 months worth of savings is a huge difference. We usually don't even talk about investments until you at least have that, because, you know, if then something happens and it's tied up, then that's a hard pill to swallow.
Yeah.
Yes. That liquid cash is crucial. And when you have that liquid cash of emergency savings, I, y'all alluded to it. It brings that peace of mind of emotion, right? And that for a lot of us, just ringing off this stat, 37% of Americans have enough savings to cover an expense of $500. That's insane.
Wow.
That is insane. We
Wow.
just got to be better as communities. You just got to be better in terms of budgeting. I think that as well.
Yeah.
And so, like Iman said, life happens, things happen. And I read in a book recently is, the good is only so good for a while. And it's eventually that eventually is going to run out and something's going to happen. And so you definitely have to be prepared. And then same thing for bad. It's only going to be bad for so while. You can get back on your feet and you be back on your way up. But you gotta be able to position yourself for a financial success in terms of if something were to happen for emergencies. Then we talk about leveling up, right? Once you have that established, then we can level up into the next things. Hey, let's start saving for a vacation, or let's start saving for some of those wants, for those things that you want to do, or investing, like Justin said. So it opens a lot more doors for you, including the budget, including the emergency savings. Now, the next topic is something that society. We're a debt society. I guess you'd say in American, we borrow a lot of money, including the U.S. So debt is a big topic,
Yeah.
and there's good debt, there's
Understatement.
bad debt. But a lot of Americans right now in this day and age are flooded in debt right now. You can go in so many directions with debt. You can talk about student debt right off the top. That is a hot topic right now, student debt. You can just talk about high interest debt in general. Credit card debt. People are using credit cards like crazy now, and so people, we this bringing down of inflation has been such a hard battle because people are not stopping spending. They're continuing to spend. So it's been a tough ride, and what if a lot of Americans don't have that saved up, what are they using? Credit. So and it's expensive to lend right now. So with the rates being up, so definitely, I know there's a lot of Americans out there that are going to need some help with that high interest debt, and so I'll open that to discussion. The third leg of this trilemma, and that's what's the beauty of the trilemma is like all these things can be interchangeable. There could be one that's more focused than the other. It's a flow of this trilemma that is molded to what your specific situation is, and so let's talk about how important it is to pay down that high interest debt.
Jesse, you take this one.
Okay. Um, and I think we spoke about this before.
Hmm.
Debt and savings go hand in hand. So if you're having if you're paying one of those, if you have a piece of debt that's just have a high interest rate on it, and you're not placing focus on paying it down, it really can be hindering you from doing some of the other stuff that you need to do when it comes to maybe, like we said, saving or even getting to investments or even getting to your goal. So it's absolutely important to have a focus on how much debt you have out there. I know it's sometimes ugly. You got to face some of those old credit cards that you owe back when you were younger, or and things. It's a must when it comes to just moving forward to reaching your financial goals. So that is and savings play hand in hand, and it may be just as important. So that's my take on managing debt.
Yeah, those are facts for sure. And debt is not fun. That is not fun. I mean, yeah, there's good debt, there's bad debt. Most Americans today, I think, are in bad debt. A lot of the times it's credit cards. A lot of the times it's loans that you just didn't have the credit available and you had to take like a car loan or something like that. But that interest can really beat you up, and it's surprising a lot of times when we look at it and we break it down, we break down the budget and we look and see, hey, did you know you're losing, 20% of your income just to these interests on your debts, like your credit cards and whatnot. And a lot of the times we hear is, hey, why do you have this Home Depot card? Oh, they had a promotion. I was out there buying like a gardening hose and they were going to give me 15% off. So I got the credit card. Or why do you have this random like Albertsons card? Like, I don't even think there's Albertsons around anymore. Like, oh no, they were giving like buy one, get one free promotion on a credit card. And I was buying that thing. So I got it. So now you're stuck with like 20 credit cards on all these random places. And your mind is a weird thing because when you have the card, like for example, the Target card, I know you go and you're like, oh, okay, now I got this Target credit card. And every time I use this credit card, they give me 5% off my entire, ticket. So mentally, I'm thinking, oh, if I'm ever going to go shopping, I'm actually going to go to Target because I know I get this 5% off. And oh, I'm thinking about 5% off. I might buy an extra here or extra there. And not only are you screwing yourself up with the interest rate of the credit card, now you're purchasing more than you normally would have purchased. it's all a mind game, and these guys know what they're doing. These banks, these financial institutions, they know how to get you. They understand human behavior, and I think that that's a big part of it. So we really have to change that culture and change that mindset. And I think that's what we're all about, is building those habits so that you understand what good debt is, what bad debt is, what is good to build your credit up, to have a sustainable life, to be able to get the things that you want for a good interest rate. And then what are some things that are just not working and just doesn't make sense to your budget and your goals. So yeah, it's a game. It's really about understanding and having that knowledge, and don't waste. It's a big waste of money when you have a outstanding credit card that's at 19 to 25% interest. Like, that's money you're literally throwing away in the trash can, and we don't want that.
Definitely, I agree with everything you said.
And
Go ahead, Tom.
also, I'm sorry to interrupt, but the banks want you to not pay off that debt.
That's true. That's why when you click, when you click play in full, it always says, "Are you sure?" It doesn't just take the transaction; it asks you 2 or 3 times before you can pay it all off.
I'm going to talk directly to all my Gen Zers right now. So I'm gonna scale it back and say, first, understand what credit is and what a credit score is, and please understand that that is a game within itself. And there are certain strategies and things that you can do to make sure you have an immaculate credit score, but you got to be able to stay on top of that. That is something, another whole management of credit that you have to understand early on, and it's not taught early on enough, I don't think. I think there's a lot to uncover there and to dive deep into when it comes to the full credit score in general, and how to build credit. Nobody, a lot of us are lost in how to. I know I was lost when I first started building credit, so it's important to understand that first. And hey, why not a financial coach? That's what we do. We don't stray away from younglings at all. Come through. We'll be able to teach what credit is, break it down in a way that you understand, and understand how you can take advantage and leverage that credit score, and be able to get the things and use it to your advantage on your financial journey to get you where you want to be ultimately, and how to utilize it. I think it's important. And I think that's taking it back to the fundamentals again, is understanding that credit score, and understand if you have a bad credit score too. There's nothing wrong with acknowledging that. That takes a lot of reflection. That's half the battle, is seeing why you have a bad credit score, and understanding how to get you back on track and what are the steps to take it there. But it's one foot after the other. It's not gonna be overnight. You're not gonna understand these things, like Iman mentioned, together between all three of us, 30 plus years of experience in the financial industry. So we didn't just develop these things overnight. This is all from learning from experience and professional experience, things like that, and life experience. So it's definitely going to be a while, but why not take advantage of somebody being there right with you and kind of guiding you throughout the way? So definitely. And that's the trilemma in a nutshell. Diving in those, we really like to look at those things first before going on and leveling up to the next True FinCoaching trilemma. So thank you, fellas, for diving into that. We're going to move on to why is it important to have a financial vision? So as financial coaches, we can't stress this enough, and we've alluded to this throughout the show, but emotions are tied to money, right? And life is tied to money, and goals are tied to money. And so, as I mentioned, money is a resource to ultimately get you and lead you in the path that you want to be in life and where you envision yourself. And so I wanted to open it up to why is it important to have a financial vision, and open it up to you guys.
I can go first.
Sure.
So, the financial vision is the end goal. It's understanding exactly what it is that we're trying to achieve. oftentimes what it is that we're doing it for. What is my reason? And with if we cannot uncover your financial vision, then it makes it very, very difficult to even walk a path because we don't know where we're going. So it's important for you to understand your financial vision. What is it that you're trying to accomplish? Are you trying to get to a place where you want to open up your own business? Do you want to purchase a home? Do you want to build a savings that way you can prepare for a new baby? These are some things that we definitely 100% need to know. That way we know our reason, one, our reason why, and two, what we're working towards. Um, and that actually, from there, we actually work, um, we work backwards as far as for starting there, and then we figure out the pathway to get there. So, financial vision is incredibly important, and that's pretty much my take on it.
Yeah, you're taking the words right out of my mouth. I couldn't agree more with you, Justin. The vision. I mean, they call it vision, so you can see, what that what the goal looks like, right? So without that vision, and I think that's why what makes us kind of unique as well is as True Fin Coaching is we ask about that. We want to know what do you see in the next 5, 10, 20, 30 years? Like, what is your goal? What is your vision that you want to accomplish? Because when you have a solid vision, it's the pieces come together. It makes it more clear, and it makes your journey 10 times easier. Whereas someone that doesn't really have a vision as to what they want to accomplish, just being able to put a budget together can be the hardest thing ever because they don't understand why they're doing it. Oh, I just want to make some money. Like, just tell me what I got to do. Well, why do you want to make money? Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? How do you want to do it? Like, these are important questions to really reflect within yourself, and for us as coaches to understand as well, because we understand who you are and we understand what's important to you, and that's how we can start building those habits. And 5, 10 years down the line, you're helping your kids and your kids' kids, and you see something as simple as having a vision can translate to having generational wealth for your family down the road. So that's the vision that we have for True Fin Coaching. Is it's not just something that just stops and ends with our client. We want this to be knowledge for them to be able to share with their friends and family down the line, and their friends and family, and really make finance and financial literacy a part of their lives, because it's something that has been absent, especially people in our communities. And I'm talking about all three of us. I'm Iran, first generation Iranian American. My parents didn't teach us about finance. How they taught us was, "Hey, Dad, can I go buy this game from this store?" And we get one of these right here. I don't know if y'all seen this or back of a hand. But it's like, "Hey, get back to your room, son. You ain't got to worry about this." So that was our financial vision right there, growing up. So if you grew up like I did, it takes that hump, but understanding that vision makes you more accountable. You understand what needs to be done. You're more likely to get over challenges because you know what you're working towards. You understand what it takes to get over that hump because you can see way, way far ahead. So yeah, having a vision is extremely important when you're sitting down in anything that you do, especially when it comes to your finances.
Yeah, I'll start off with this quote. When we lose our why, we lose our way. And so that is important to understand, that you can get lost if you don't have a why. And if you have a why and a vision, it's then you can start figuring, what are the next steps? How do I get there? You can start answering those questions, right? If you don't know where you're going, you're just the blind's leading the blind, right? You're just going to continue overdrafting, continue not worrying about where your money's going. You're just going to continue to not have any aspirations for something to work towards. So it is very. I think the financial vision is definitely a foundation a base of where you start with. I think while you're watching this, hey, if you have to press pause or whatever, but ask yourself this: if you knew you couldn't fail financially, and you knew that was set, right? You could not fail financially. What would you do? A lot of people get lost with that question because they've never thought about what would I really be doing if I was financially free. Then those passions start setting in, those hobbies start setting in. Those, okay, what could I do that really makes me happy if I'm financially free? I don't got to work to really make ends meet or to live paycheck to paycheck. I can actually do the things that I've always or what I was made to do on this earth. It's just again, it's that mindset. It's that how can I see myself where I ultimately want to be? Maybe it's a 5-year plan, maybe it's a 10-year plan, maybe it's a 20-year plan, but you got to have a vision and have a reasonable vision, because like we said, these things that those next steps to take to get there, it's not going to be an easy road. We've talked about it. You can run into high interest debt. You could run into a bad credit score. You could run into a life event. You could run into anything. And so you got to keep consistent. You got to stick to the plan, because that's another thing. We like to veer off of the pathway and go into a whole other direction and maybe say, this is, of course, I think there's adjustments throughout the way, right? There's adjustments. There's revisiting the budget, those types of things. But the vision is the standard. The vision is where we're going. And this journey is for a reason. And this journey is going to get us to, in a video game, right? You beat the game, right? You beat the master. You get to ultimately to get the last level, and you beat the boss, and you accomplish all you've wanted to accomplish. It's you are player one in your own story, and you have control over where you lead yourself and your family and whoever else is involved in your journey. So it's a crucial, financial vision is, we can't stress this enough, is to have that mindset and to think about it and to say, what can we do? And please, I'm going to say this because I see it on all podcasts that I see. If you like it, please like and follow us, because we're trying to give you good real life content and raw, and we just love it. As you could tell, the smiles on our faces, we're really passionate about this, so we're happy about doing it. So just so wrap things up, fellas. How y'all think this first episode went?
It was great. I loved it. I was definitely excited.
Anything you want to tell the viewers, Justin, about this first episode? What they want to take away?
I give it only because I'm here, I give it a 10. But
yeah, I'm gonna give it a 10 too. I gotta agree with Justin. That's a solid 10 right here.
yeah,
This quality content right here.
and also the viewers have to know that, like, this is our first one. Obviously we're gonna get a lot better at this. We're just getting used to camera setup and all that. So we'll get better. We'll get better, and you'll get better with us. You'll watch us grow. That's the beauty of it. So I'm here for it.
And I think it's important to ask as well, the viewers, what did you guys like? What didn't you guys like? Let us know. What do you guys want to hear about? Let us know what questions y'all have. We want to be able to make this a podcast for the people, for real. So any topics that are interesting for you, we can definitely do deep dives into and discuss what's going on in the economy, what's going on with budgeting, whatever it is. We're chill people over here, so we just want to be able to get as much knowledge out to our communities as possible, and this is what inspired this podcast here. Is really got to get this information out to as many people as possible, because you're not finding it in schools, you're not finding it, in a lot of different places that it needs to be. So, but yeah, I'm excited to see what else we come up with.
If y'all want us to drop a credit course, let us know. We'll drop the credit course.
Hey, I think we need to.
But hopefully I've come out of this episode just learning a little bit more what a financial coach does, and hopefully gain some tips as well based off of our trilemma. If you are interested in a free consultation with one of the coaches, all three of the coaches, please feel free to click on the link. maybe we'll have it in the bio, maybe we have it on our Instagram. Follow us on Instagram at truefincoaching.com. I mean, True FinCoaching. We also have our website, truefincoaching.com. Twitter at TrueFin. All of it's at True FinCoaching. On
Yeah.
TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. We're on all. We're on everything pretty
Facebook.
much. Facebook.
We
Probably more.
worldwide.
Probably more to come.
Yep.
And I think it's like you said, Iman. Tell a friend, tell family. Please to tune in. And we the Iranian community, the Black community, the Hispanic community. Just we're trying to outreach to everybody. But we really want, no matter where you come from, we really want to just share our experiences and our knowledge. And can't wait for the guests. Like I can't wait till we start having some more guests on here. And being able
Oh, yeah.
to share their journeys, share their lessons that they've learned through their journeys, and ask them what their relationship with money looks like, and maybe some things that they've done that have helped them throughout their journey. So I'm excited for the Level Up podcast. We're gonna level up ourselves together, and continue to grow. Growth mindset, staying positive, and this is just exciting. I'm happy that I get to do with you, Phyllis. Shout out to Common Sense Creative for producing the podcast.
Big shout out.
I don't know if you want to drop a DJ, wow, 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 right there. But this is dope. We're happy to bring more content to y'all. And man, free throw to reach out. All of our information is on all of our socials. We're always happy to just have a conversation and talk about what
Yeah.
we can provide. And there's going to be so much more things that we're looking to do. So this is just the beginning.
Thank you very much, guys.
TFC out.
Out.